ridiculously bad. It keeps phasing in and out, and it's making my life kind of not fun, and it's being really, really annoying. Hence, you'll see why I am using basically a smartphone versus my usual aspect of running things on my home computer. Now, whether this thing is going to stay online or just go, well, how should I say without saying it? But no, 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 sound guy. It's going to be, yeah, it's definitely going to be just that one. It's going to be just, just, yeah. Anyway, so I had things going on yesterday. I couldn't actually do the podcast. So unfortunately, I'm having to knock it out today, or fortunately, I'm knocking it out today. Um, this one, of course, being, a little bit of a different setup. I see I got some stuff up. Flag fell. Or, oh, I didn't put the flag up. Just give me 1 second here. Let me raise my flag. There. Now we're official. Now we're official. I raised the flag. Those of you in the room, hopefully you're seeing a halfway decent production here of, well, kind of, maybe not the highest resolution, but it's what I'm stuck with because literally my internet has been just crap. I mean, it's been phasing in and out for a while. Then, of course, I went on vacation, so I was out of town. Couldn't really deal with it, couldn't really contend with it, so I was basically stuck with, everything I had at that point in time. And, of course, obviously being on vacation, it is that you come back and you're just dragging tail, man. It really, really just takes it right out of you. And I really did entirely too much stuff on my last day. I could charitably be said I was very mean to myself, towing the closer to the big 6-0 than I ever want to truly admit, closer than the big 5-0. So doing those things that I kind of did to myself, yeah, I kind of paid for it later. It's like those guys are in the service. It's like they go on and on about, well, we do all the hardcore stuff, and then and we basically kick ass and take names and blah 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 blah. When you get older, though, and you do all the required physical testing, yeah, it ain't quite so easy as it used to be, man. Because age is the most brutal of all things to hit you, and it is what it is. Patriot Fever, appreciate you coming on online here. I got you a little Patriot 3, you say. So anyway, looking at good stuff like that there, and of course, I'll be looking at things. Curious Entertainment, I don't know if it's weird, but American flag frame copy Declaration of Independence. No, 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 not at all. Curious Entertainment, that is completely above board, and I do have a copy somewhere. I know I got a pocket Constitution somewhere above my computer here. Yep. Have my pocket Constitution, along with my Yankee flag here. So that is what it is, and I shan't change up and be any different. But I do have my pocket Constitution of these United States. So good stuff like that there. I do actually have not a centillion, but I have a veritable buttload. I'm not even talking just a little bit here, but I have tons. Patriot Fever, Dave Wright, curious CEO to have one hanging in my office. WLIF. I guess it would be right, Fakaka duty now. No, sound guy, no. Right now, like hanging in his office right now. What are you even doing? No, okay. It deepens a bit. It's a copy from 1976 from Bicentennial America. Very cool. Okay. Oh, wall. He said he was going to hang it on his wall. Not like right, hang on a second here. Hang on. Not like right king now. All right. So anyway, looking at information and good stuff on the news, I guess we have to regale ourselves with, those news and review of topical events taking place in our daily world and lives. And but no, not sound guy. No, we did not need the chime. Okay, we're just talking about daily events. Of course, we're obviously a day late. Obviously, I do like to do my podcast on Tuesday, but unfortunately, I was stuck, and well, I just
I poop from there.
no, I don't. Well, obviously, I do poop from there, but that's not sound guy. What are you talking about? Little Patriot 3's a bad spell checker. Okay. Sound guy is going off the rails. All right. Anyway, let's bring some topicality into things here. It could be said that the woke agenda being taken completely a hold of by a lot of organizations. Oh, thanks, Curious Entertainment. You're only encouraging them. Sound guy's killing it tonight. Anyway, so it could be said that the woke organizations are really taking it to like the nth degree. Okay, they're really going just. Okay, stop it with the boners, okay? It's really kind of not family friendly. Anyway,
This is my boomstick!
put that. Actually, I think I got that one here. I got that one.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me!
I had that one handy just in case. Anyway, so look at the news. Of course, the woke agenda guys are really kind of pushing the mantra of the you have to. I got a Thor's hammer here. I'm sorry, folks. You have to be ascribed to our way of thinking. We will not stop in midstream. We will completely do things as we will ever wish, and we won't stop at all. Oh, okay. Sound guy says that they're jumping into it fully. That was it. Are you done, sound guy? Yeah. Anyway, so the woke guys are really just oh. Hey, these are the jokes, folks. All right. Anyway, so like I said, woke agenda, the organization that is absolutely forefront and more in your face than anybody. You got to say it is the. I really hate having to use the guy's full name, unfortunately, because he's passed on. But the Walt Disney Corporation, or just now known as Disney Corp. It could be said these guys will come screaming in and try to insert their own way of looking at stuff, and well, what the hell? No, what does Mickey Mouse have to do with Batman?
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
Oh, you better initiate them.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Okay, I don't know where he's going with that one, folks. Oh, Jesus. Sound guy on today's show, flying off the rails and doing things he'll never be able to do again because I have a mute button on this episode of Dude After Dark. Okay, I got the pause button, sound guy. You know that, okay? Stop playing 80s cop show themes. Jesus. Okay, anyway, to go... Yes, it's the sound guy effect hour. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, literally going off the rails. We have the Disney Corporation, and it's now starting to reflect poorly upon the bottom line. So much so that they're actually completely kirking out now, and they're really getting very desperate. How desperate are they getting? Well, they're now doing that thing that probably corporations do only in times of absolute just, oh my stars and garters, everything's going completely kablooey, wheels are coming off the train. They are re-releasing old movies that is reeling from really dismal box office numbers. So what they're going to do is they're going to release the Star Wars solo film Rogue One from 2016 and Avatar from 2009. Total domestic box office revenues have dropped from 11.3 billion in 2019 to 2.1 billion in 2020 as a result of the COVID pandemic. However, the company has only recovered to 4.5 billion in 2021 and 5.0 billion so far in 2022. So they're kind of hurting for cash, man. So they're gonna kick these old movies out, going, oh yeah, people just want to watch them again, and Fred Hart, please more content, less sound effects. I can't control the guy, Fred. I can't. I turn, you're just like a dog in traffic. This one I find rather interesting, and this one I got to be really, really charitably very careful about how I say it without saying it, because sometimes if you put something out there, you have the big three being Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube / Google Alphabet going, you can't say things like that because that's false information, and you're just spreading stuff. All right. So anyway, what kind of stuff am I spreading? Well, I'm going to be talking to you today about the usual case of
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Now, there's also an add-on here. I guess since Hollywood Scariest Entertainment, guess Hollywood kept getting hate for reusing old tropes and jokes. They're now reusing old films. Yeah, well, that's pretty much what they got to do. So I'm gonna have to switch things up. Fred, I don't know if you know how to do things here, but the Chinese Communist covert viral infection has to be utilized when we're speaking about the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. And obviously, if you've received treatment from such to avoid getting the Chinese Communist covert viral infection, you received
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
And that last sound effect is known as the 44 Magnum sound effect of a shot. So we're all on board here. We're talking about the Chinese Communist covert viral infection, and if you receive the treatment for such, whether it works or not, you've gotten the Chinese Communist covert viral infection with the 44 Magnum sound effect of a shot. All right, so nose is itching. Sorry. This is what I find very, very interesting. This one coming from analyzingamerica.org, and they say gene therapy essentially is not a cure. So, despite 4 doses of the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Despite getting 4 doses of his company's I gotta go back a little further. Hang on a second. Yeah, 4 doses of the 44 Magnum sound effect of a shot. Quadruple bang. Pfizer CEO tested positive for
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Yeah. New show idea. I'm not going to say that one in the room, Patriot Fever, but yeah, exactly. The id report. Oh, and it starts COV. The COV id report. Yeah. So anyway, this guy basically has gotten numerous occasions of receiving his factory gene therapy that they posit as, what they say is the fix. He still got it. It didn't fix it, so he still got it. Yeah. I don't really like him. I'm not going to quote him, but Senator Rubio basically says, "Don't go rogue." Essentially, because of the Mar-a-Lago thing. Oh, don't go rogue. Yeah, well, duh. I don't think I saw a picture of this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this justice. This picture is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, curious senators have a great idea that it's easy to counter them and show their hypocrisy more than they already do. Yeah. There's this cargo ship, right? And, it obviously just looks like a cargo ship. It's maybe a little more sleek and swoopy. It kind of does what it needs to do. And the thing about it is this thing's trucking across the water. Well, I cannot do this justice. This is like a Twitter post or something. And you look at it and it has these very kind of futuristic looking, wings on there that are essentially taking the place of sails. So you have essentially a sailboat cargo vessel. Quote, this wind-powered cargo ship is set to change the way we ship goods across oceans. The model is very practical and is looking at a possible launch in 2024. So the next smartass had to come up with a comment. Wind-powered ships? What a time to be alive. Yeah, Patriot Fever. I really think about the same thing about, Marco Rubio. He does not enthrall me. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but this one coming in from analyzingamerica.org. Liz Cheney. I mean, that's really all you got to say about her is just Liz Cheney. Oh, my stars and garters. Quote, now the real work begins. She proceeded to herself to former President Abraham Lincoln, who was also defeated in elections for ultimately prevailing to save the nation during our Civil War. Never mind, he also suspended habeas corpus. Never mind, he also suspended the First Amendment. Never mind, he also suspended, free utilization of currency. Only freed some of the slaves with the Emancipation Proclamation. Lincoln is not that guy. Truly not that guy. It could be said that Lincoln pretty much was, he was a Yankee. I'm going to call it what it is, man. He was just a Yankee. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find a secondary power cord so my primary unit here doesn't go poopy. Hang on a second here. Where'd you go? I had a wire. If I had a wire, I would plug it in my units. Hang on a second here. I'm going to make sure it just doesn't die out on me. That would suck. In the middle of podcast, it's like the battery just goes, because I'm using my 1T phone, because, obviously I have to have my smartphone handy and ready to use, so I'm using my 1T smartphone, which is basically the doppelganger of this, except I home built a 1T version of a Note 9. Works pretty good. Doesn't have a SIM card, but, it works pretty good on Wi-Fi, and if I'm using, mobile hotspot and all the rest of that good stuff. Anyway, you guys know that one. I'm not going to keep on going on that one. But anyway, so she's comparing herself to Lincoln. I mean, where in the world do these people get this hubris? I mean, it's just ridiculous. The amount of hubris that you find in your standard Washington Congress critter is nothing short of just remarkable. I mean, they self-elevate themselves on such levels, I cannot begin to tell you just how arrogant it comes across. I think I've heard about this one or not, but supposedly the IRS wants to hire 87,000 gun-toting IRS guys. LMFAO. Good luck with that. Mostly the biggest thing I have a problem with is the fact that these guys are acting like they're cops, and they're really not. They're not Treasury agents. They're really kind of more accountants going on to your property going, hey, you owe money. Never mind the fact that pretty much they ain't the guys that really you want to send into the, the waters, as it were. But the major duties they're saying is you must adhere to the highest standards of conduct, especially maintaining honesty and integrity. Look at the FBI. I got nothing to say about any federal organization right now about honesty, integrity, and during this administration. Yeah, yipes. Work a minimum of 50 hours per week. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of people taking that one on. May include irregular hours and be on call 24/7, including holidays and weekends. What the? Wait a minute. You can't even get a hold of an IRS agent by calling in normally from 9 to 5. 24/7, 50 hours a week. Yeah, good luck with that. Just give me 1 second. Maintain a level of fitness necessary to effectively respond to life-threatening situations on the job. They're not cops. They're just not, okay? Carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. I got bad news for you. The IRS guys have a really, really high amount of, like, accidental discharges, and their gun handling is not good. Be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous tasks and assignments. Guys, no. No. You're not just going to pull Joe Blow off the street and go, yeah, you're going to be that guy. This other Lynn Cheney quote, this one truly does make me laugh. And just, she's now going to be really, really irrelevant. Truly irrelevant. But good thinking. Lose locally, lose nationally. How about just go away and don't go away mad, but just go away. So she's thinking about a White House run after her loss to keep, quote, keep Trump out of the Oval Office, end quote. Her and her dad just need to just go to hell away. Ugh. From what I understand, there's only 2 Republicans left. 2 Republicans who voted to impeach who are still left. And that one being Dan Newhouse in Washington and David Valdano in California. Those 2 guys. One in Washington State, one in California. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All the other Republicans wiped out. Bye. Bye. Don't need you. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. This one, of course, coming in from... Oh, jeez. This is Twitter. This is truly just Twitter. Hang on a second here. Let me get this thing to pop up. It's being a little annoying. Hang on. Let's see here. It's a New York Post status. Come on. Stop being cranky. Let me see it. All right, well, it's doing that. I'm going to jump to another one. This a-hole enabled a pile of bovine excrement. It's time to remove him from office. So, Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat of West Virginia, on Tuesday admitted that the Inflation Reduction Act, quote, won't immediately temper inflation, telling reporters that necessary investments needed to bring down prices would take some time. Enlighten me. How do you raise everything through the roof and curtail inflation by spending to the point of insolvency and making it so that the country really truly is now overextended in all aspects of its financial abilities? Please explain that to me, because I don't quite understand your thinking, sir. This one being really seriously kick-ass, though. Sarah Palin advances to the general election in Alaska House seat. So, I think she's got a really, really good chance. And I'd like to see her, become a representative, because she's a known quantity. I mean, she's obviously, that whole thing about seeing Russia from the front, it's like, she didn't say that. She's not stupid enough to say that. Some news geek was like, oh yeah, she's too dumb to know the difference. Dude, she was born there, okay? She knows exactly how far Russia is away from Alaska. It's only 80 miles, okay? You drive down the Aleutians, you basically hit the end of the Aleutians, you hop on a rowboat, you could be there not too terribly long, okay? It's not that far away. There's a reason why Russia had Alaska. It was convenient. They actually have guys on some of those little, Russian islands that tell the Inuit and the other guys, hey, don't walk across the ice to Russia. That's illegal. Don't, please. Yeah. Great duty station. Speaking of people standing out in the middle of the ice storm and getting nothing out of it, Brian Stetler is out of CNN, and the network cancels his media show, Reliable Sources. I think I know I actually know the theme to Reliable Sources with Brian Stetler. News sources of Brian Stetler. Oh, yeah, reliable sources. Oh, sorry, reliable sources. I absolutely know the theme of that song. And here's Brian Stetler. Yeah, he's just annoying. Okay, no more Terminator shotgun sound, guys. Stop. So anyway, Brian Stetler's out at CNN as the network cancels media show Reliable Sources, and he's been with CNN since 2013. Says, oh jeez, but he also says the Hunter Biden saga isn't just a right-wing media story anymore. Maybe that's why he's turning on Joe Cocker. But his end statements, he's I think what he was trying to take the higher ground as he was getting booted out the door. Literally just a clown. Came from the New York Times as the nation's top media reporter. Departs CNN as an impeccable broadcaster. CNN Executive Vice President Amy Trellis describes Stetler as an impeccable broadcaster. It couldn't have been that until you duffed him and basically booted him out the door pretty quick. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. This one's actually pretty damn funny. This one coming from PatriotJournal.com, but a Disney executive has just defected to the dark side. Caballero, who just got hired by the conservative powerhouse Daily Wire. So Americans watch Disney turn increasingly leftist over the years. These days, the once beloved company is pushing radical woke politics, but it hasn't helped them at all. Movies are taking subscription to streaming aperture down, and now one of their former executives is joining a booming conservative outlet. It's coming from the Western Journal. On Wednesday, the Hollywood Reporter reported that Eric Caballero, a veteran of the Walt Disney Company, was joining the Daily Wire as chief marketing officer. The move comes as a conservative outlet best known as home and commentators such as Ben Shapiro, who co-founded the company, and Matt Walsh seeks to solidify its move as an entertainment provider. This is pretty big news. Eric Caballero, who formerly worked for Disney, is now joining Daily Wire. Caballero will be the conservative outlet's chief marketing officer. The company said it will be leading marketing efforts for the Daily Wire, their streaming platform. I see it as nothing but a good thing. You know, if the guy's competent, it really shouldn't matter where he came from if he's competent. If he's a complete and total dirtbag, Blue Falcon, and those of you who are former service know what Blue Falcon means. That means, Buddy Blanker. Buddy, yeah, that's about as good as I could say. Buddy Blanker, but it starts with an F for the second word there. Joe Kaka's got a slight problem. Yeah, Joe Kaka does indeed. This one coming in from, let's see here. That's going to be truthpress.com. A federal judge on Thursday issued a permanent injunction that will allow new oil and gas leases on federal lands. Translation, an executive order was a major overreach on his part, and he got, well, yeah, no. He got, yeah, that one. He got, yeah, just, no. That one. He got that. We're a little late on the draw there, sound guy. He got that. Thank you. No, he didn't have a guy snapping him with a rubber band. He got that. Okay? No, I'm not doing that, okay? You stop that. Stop, okay? Just stop. Sound guy.
You dick!
I had that button. Anyway, scroll. The ruling by Judge Terry Doherty of the Western District of Louisiana came one day after the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals had kicked back to Doherty an injunction he'd issued last year to accomplish the same goal, according to The Hill. Doherty's Thursday ruling permanently blocks the January 2021 executive order from the president that had halted lease sales on federal lands. So it's a major overreach on Joe Kaka's part. So the order applies to Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, West Virginia, which had sued Biden. I think there was 15 states there. Doherty was appointed by former President Donald Trump, ruled that Biden's January 2021 order violated the Mineral Leasing Act and Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act by leaving Congress out of the loop. So, I think they pretty much told him...
Shut the fucking...
Okay.
Shut the fuck.
Okay, I think it was the second one. Yeah, it was the second one.
Shut the fuck.
Okay, I don't know where he's going to with that one there. I really, truly don't know. So anyway, the guy was appointed by Trump, said that's an overreach. You can't do that. There's federal legislation that you've overstepped. You can't do that either. But here's the other one, and this one truly cracks me up. When a rhino pounds on another rhino, that's entertaining. Of all things, Mitt Romney says about Liz Cheney possibly running for president. Representative Liz Cheney contemplates her next move after losing the Republican primary in Wyoming this week. Utah Senator Mitt Romney says he wouldn't encourage her to run for president. Quote, I'm not going to encourage anyone to run for president. I've done that myself, and that's something I'm not doing again. I don't know if she really wants to do that. She would not become a nominee if she were to run. I can't imagine that would occur, Romney told the Deseret News on Thursday. Man, he's looking rough, too. He's looking rough. Like, the years have not been kind to Mittens, and he's not looking so good. Of course, there's that whole... I got this one, sound guy. The other Democrats going on to mention that, well... we got a little surprise for you, boy. We're just going to tell you right now. You're going to get,
Snoo!
No, sound guy. No, he is not going to get snoo. He is just going to get, that's right.
Let's get ready to...
Yeah, because right now, Joe Manchin has attained...
You're despicable.
...status. So the House Democrats plan to double-cross Joe Manchin on his energy deal. The House Democrats are warning Senator Joe Biden that they won't honor the deal he made with the party leaders to secure his vote on President Biden's massive spending bill. Dude, you can't play both sides. You got to pick one. And I'm going to tell you for a fact, right now, West Virginia, they're going to pick one too. And it's not him. He's done. He's done. He is done. Just. He's going to suffer.
Death!
And not.
Snoo!
No.
Snoo!
No snoo. No. No snoo at all. No snoo. Alan Dershowitz drops the gavel on the Trump raid. Even though he voted against Trump, the search was, quote unquote, in his words, improper. Alan Dershowitz might not like him politically, but he's truly one of those guys that knows the legal system backwards and forwards, and he's right. It was truly done improperly. There is some active work going on now, and most people know I'm pretty much a single-item voter. I really only am a single-item voter along the lines of the Second Amendment. That's pretty much the only thing I ever truly look at for anybody in any execution that they're going to do in their seat in Congress, Senate, or in the White House is how they interpret the Constitution under the Second Amendment. Because if you don't have the second, everything else falls apart. But now the GOA, or the Gun Owners of America, have now started a process in which they try to seek, and they will attempt to have a 5-step plan to abolish the AFT. I'm being cute. The BATF, or the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms group of people. But anyway, the 5-step plan that they've worked out: 1, eliminate the NFA, or the 1934 Gun Control Act, which was the National Firearms Act, which was put about because we had pretty much criminals running around doing criminal type stuff, and they weren't being stopped at the time. So what did they do? They stepped on everybody else's legal rights to own machine guns, short-barreled rifles, short-barrel shotguns, silenced weapons, anything along those lines, and said, oh, no, these fall under now a way in which we can enforce, because you have to remember the federal government really is limited by only 2 main things. Everybody seems to forget about that, and they let them run around, completely by the wayside, but typically the federal government is only allowed to enforce under 2 main aspects. Under the purview, they're allowed to enforce under interstate commerce, or translation. 2 states are doing something in between one another. The federal government then goes, okay, well, there's taxation involved upon that because you guys aren't staying as unique entities. You're not sovereign entities. You're dealing with each other. And we get to stick our fingers in the pie. The other way that they can do it is by taxation. So if you look at the actual stamp that they generated that goes with every machine gun, every, NFA article has a quote-unquote tax stamp. A friend of mine's got a machine gun, and I've seen it a number of times. Actually, several of my friends have machine guns. And the tax stamp basically just looks like a big postage stamp, and on it says 200. So it's a $200 stamp. You don't get it from the post office. You got to go through the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. You got to do some background checks. You got to get fingerprinted. You have to have a card generated. You have to have documentation maintained with the weapon at all times. Just give me 1 second here. Most people usually take a copy of the tax stamp and they'll fold it up and they'll stick it in the buttstock, or they'll put it in a pistol grip, or they'll just have a copy in in like some weatherproof thing. And if anybody ever comes off and, oh, that machine gun, the guy goes, here. Legal, bye. And essentially that's the way the federal government fell into play with that one, is they generated the tax stamps so they could enforce the Second Amendment. So eliminate the NFA and all firearms registration associated with it. Well, firearms registration is illegal in the first place, and it's never ever been taken place. 2, eliminate the AFTs. I'm being cute. The ATF's unconstitutional gun and gun owner database. That really needs to go bye-bye. Number 3, get rid of the Gun Control Act's unconstitutional regulations. Number 4, overturning all previously instituted unconstitutional rules. Now, a rule isn't a law. So if they put a rule in place, technically they should not be able to enforce it at all, because they are not the legislative body that's supposed to be making laws. By making rules and putting those in place, they are overstepping the Congress, overstepping the Senate, and making legislation when they are not elected officials. They are bureaucrats. And since they're not elected officials, they are not allowed to make law or policy. Number 5, eliminate the federal government's role in unconstitutionally regulating the firearms industry. They really, truly have overstepped that one hugely. And any of those things coming into play, or all 5 of them coming into play, it's getting very, very interesting. There's 3 lawsuits going on right now in California, and let's just say that they are more than a little bit. No. They're suffering more than a little bit of a pucker factor. Yeah, distinct pucker factor. Let's see. Scroll. This one I found absolutely hilarious. For the second time, the Pentagon has denied a request on Monday by Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser to activate the National Guard to assist with the thousands of migrants who have been arriving at the nation's capital in recent months. The Defense Department Executive Secretary Kelly Buellner-Hawley wrote in a letter to Bowser on Monday that the D.C. National Guard is not trained to assist migrants, and activation would lead to, quote-unquote, diminished readiness for the troops. Translation, we ain't doing it. Go away. And the reason why they actually have so many migrants is because you have, well, somebody with a set of nuts like, Abbott down in Texas, and he's like, you know what? If you're going to stick me with these guys, guess what? I'm going to stick you with these guys because they don't belong here. So they're loading them on buses, they're shipping them up to D.C., and D.C. was like, oh, we're so nice, we'll take in all these migrants, we're a sanctuary city. And then they suddenly realize, holy crap, we're up to our butt in Mexicans, Salvadorans, and Nicaraguans and Hondurans, and all these guys are coming up on the wayside, and we ain't equipped to deal with this. Nah, but you're just so nice, you have to accept them. Here, have some more. Yeah. This one, of course, being very, very cute. This is, of course, switching over to your buddy, my buddy, and everybody's buddy, President. Just President. No, you have to introduce him right.
The name is...
I like the fart at the end. Yeah, we're talking about President Kaka. Yeah, I know. You're going to get them all in there, sound guy? We're talking about the president, okay? Are you done? Are you done? He might be done now. Okay, anyway. So, Joe Kaka Biden denies knowing about the FBI raid. Quote, denies knowing he was intimately involved. This gets good, folks. Quote, memo showed that then White House Deputy Counsel Jonathan Sue engaged in conversations with the FBI, the DOJ, National Archives as early as April. They knew. By May, Sue conveyed to the archives that President Joe Biden waived claims to executive privilege, a decision that opened the door for the DOJ to get a grand jury to issue a subpoena compelling Trump to turn any remaining materials he possessed from his presidency. Yeah, but it gets squishier than that, folks. I got a story later on that I'll get into. And of all things, Bill Clinton might actually help him in this regard. Yeah. Yeah. It's getting funny, folks. This guy, I cannot do justice with this guy, and it's a YouTube video, so I'm not going to be able to play it. But supposedly, veteran political analyst Bill Crane was fired after calling Donald Trump orange face. We can't get rid of Donald Trump and his looming orange face. And it was like, all the other news guys are like, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, you're banging on Trump. Well, no, it didn't quite work out for him. So, orange face for yellow journalism. Bye-bye. I cannot do it justice, man. These guys, when they self-destruct, it's just fun to watch. I don't know how to say this one other than to say it, but supposedly Senator Kennedy, the guy from down south Louisiana, just basically, what did he do to Fauci in his last public statement? Just
Come on, squeal, squeal.
yeah, that's pretty much what he did. He just ripped Fauci a new one. And I don't think it's going to work out for Fauci either. He's saying, well, I'll just resign before the red wave or, anything major happens. And I don't think that's going to work out, man. Supposedly, like I said, the whole thing about Bill Clinton, man, the story now is going on. This is from PatriotJournal.com. They described it as the Bill Clinton sock drawer. So Bill Clinton's sock drawer could let Trump off the hook. Court case ruling for Bill may give Donald the argument he needs. And when anything you have something legal, it's always going to go back to legal precedent. Who did it before? How did it go? How did it work out? How did it shake out? Who was found guilty, not guilty, or who got stuck with it? So the media is backing the FBI's unprecedented and now infamous raid of Trump's home. This one, of course, like I said, is coming in from Patriot Journal. Left is claiming that Trump broke the law, quote unquote, by keeping confidential documents at his home. But this entire claim, which could be politically motivated, could go all up in flame. But thanks to Bill Clinton's sock drawer. From the Washington Times. A 2012 court case denying access to the White House audio tapes kept in former President Bill Clinton's sock drawer after he left office could help the Trump legal team in its battle to retrieve records that the FBI seized from Mar-a-Lago this month. Judge Jackson ruled that the tapes belonged to Mr. Clinton, even though discussions included a broad range of presidential matters. The court ruled that the National Archives and Records Administration had no power to, quote, seize control of them, end quote, because Mr. Clinton had used his authority under the Presidential Record Acts to declare the recordings as part of his personal records. Folks, it's even worse than that. Trump actually was talking to the White House and talking to the archive guys and talking to pretty much a bunch of agencies going, yeah, we got 15 boxes of stuff here, and there's a safe. And, if you really want the stuff, we could drop it off. It's not like it's that big a deal. It's just around, and we keep it around as records, and we have some other stuff that's in the room, and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, could you put a padlock on the door? And they're like, sure, we'll put a padlock on the door. So they put a padlock on the door, and they made, basically that concession to secure, air quotes, secure the boxes with a padlock. And they were in contact, call it what you will, pretty much jerk, pull on each other for who's doing what, where's it going, and who's in charge of what, and all the good stuff like that there. And these guys knew that, they could open the padlock and take the stuff out. Obviously they show up with a warrant. They want to seize all this stuff and make a big show, and, Really? Oh, so they came in first, then they rang the doorbell. Okay, I got it. All right, got it, sound guy. Thanks. So back in 2012, a conservative watchdog group tried to gain access to audio tapes left behind by Bill Clinton in the sock drawer. Those recordings covered a wide range of matters, including his work as president, but a judge granted the request because Clinton used his authority, quote, granted by the Presidential Records Acts, end quote, to make these recordings part of his personal records. The key to the left's entire attack on Trump is that he broke the law by taking classified records from Mar-a-Lago. However, we've repeatedly seen how previous presidents, including Obama and Clinton, avoided any repercussions over documents they possessed. Obama took 30 million documents from the White House and has yet to return them to the National Archives. And yet Clinton was protected from having to hand over the tapes because of the Presidential Records Act. It was previously revealed that Trump had, quote-unquote, a standing order that any documents he took to Mar-a-Lago were declassified. Now, here's the thing. The people tend to forget that, the president can classify or declassify anything that comes into his possession, in his sphere of operation, or any of these other things that he's basically under control of. So that might not work out for them. So the president said this 2012 case could weigh heavily at this one. If Trump did classify all the documents he took to Mar-a-Lago, which he called the second White House, then the DOJ has no case. We have to wait and see. Now, the thing about it is also, when did he declassify it? If he basically had all the boxes sitting there and just looks at them and goes, yeah, all these are declassified. That's it. If he's in office and he said that and that can be documented, done. It is getting interesting, though, when these guys try to play these games and, how much of this stuff blows up in their face after they played the games and after they tried it and after it didn't work out and all those other fun stuff and good stuff like that there. I think I do want to play with something else real quick here to show you guys something kind of cool. I should be able to... Yeah, that one's charged up 100%. I could do that. Yep. I can cheat with this one. So give me 1 second here. I can bring something on camera, but I need to have a power source. So give me 1 second here. I need to play with something. Blow some cat hair off of something else because they're leaving marks on everything. Okay, obviously you guys know I'm a child of the 80s. Obviously, we had like all kinds of cool stuff, and we had literally, all kinds of neat stuff to play with back in the day. Obviously, we had video arcades. Well, there is miniature versions of the video arcade items. Like this guy. It's a miniature version of arcade action called Elevator Action. Now, I really can't play this while looking at the screen, but what's really kind of cool is this one actually does have like the attract screen going. It's really hard to see with all the the bright light and all, but take it for what it's worth. This thing actually does play like the NES version. It's like the NES ported version. There's actually a volume button. There's actually a little headphone jack too. Runs on AA batteries, or it runs on a phone charger. Basically, it's got a plug in the back, and I got some plans for these little guys. So I got this one here, which is Elevator Action. Let me put that one to bed. Pull this one out over here. Now, there's one I unfortunately can't demo, and that's my absolute favorite one. That's because it's still in the box. This one being the Bad Dudes. Really was not one of my favorite games, but I got both of these for like a really, really good deal. And if I decide to turn one over, well, I can turn one over. Or I can just have my mini arcade going, and, this will be the one that's sitting in the corner, and that'll be the one I play less. I don't know. And it's really, really hard to see the screen, I know, but they do actually play, and you actually do have like little joystick, and you do have the action buttons. And obviously, you do have a 1 or 2 player game, which is kind of fun. So this is the other one, which is the Bad Dudes game. Of course, I had to have a Bad Dude, so I'm thinking. But this is my absolute favorite arcade game ever. Heavy Barrel. That's right, Heavy Barrel. And when I got to the point where I played this thing like consistently, I literally could run this game on 1 quarter. One man. I literally could run the game on 1 man. And I could literally run the entire game. It took me about every time I went into the 7-Eleven and started playing it was like, oh no, this guy's back again. And I could run the thing for like about 32 minutes, I think was the actual gameplay. And it just varied like, which actual things did I do to make the score higher or lower, or how much longer it took. But the gameplay was pretty sound. I mean, it was usually like, between 31 and a half and 32 and a half minutes. It was almost always like that timeline. I never ever ran it faster because that was pretty much the gameplay. But anyway, these little guys, I mean, it's really kind of fun when you have like, literally like a little mini arcade going. So basically that's what I got. Got my little mini arcade here. And they really did a nice job on, like the actual consoles themselves. I mean, they really truly do look like, little scale. They're actually a little short on the leg side, but they really do look like, little arcade games. The only thing I really truly wish they did is I wish that the marquee area would light up. So I might actually go in there and start messing around, maybe get some LEDs and do something, and, maybe come up with some graphics or something. I don't know. But it would be really, really cool if the marquee lit up. Now, the other thing, too, is also, there's actually, the really, really, really small guys, like the really, really mini arcade games. I have one of those guys loose. I might. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. I got a little micro dig dug game, and these things are tiny. They are tiny. Hang on a sec. Is it actually going? Or is the battery dead? Battery might be dead. I mean, I turned it off. I don't know. Let me see. This one I actually have had out of the box, so I'm not too terrible worried about that one. And this one runs on like watch batteries or something. It may be dead. Yeah, I think the battery's dead. Oh well. Yeah, I think I left it on. It killed it. But you can see just how bitty this thing is in comparison to like one of these guys. Let me show you a quick side by side. It's not even close. As a matter of fact, this thing is so small, it actually does have like a keychain. So, good stuff like that there. This one actually is a lot of fun to play, and the only downside is the screen is so bitty. It's like playing it on a smartwatch. It's just tiny. This one's actually quite a bit more, just a little bit more legible. Screen size is like about twice. But still, I am actually playing it wearing reading glasses. All right, folks, I'm going to break with this one. I appreciate your kind attention. Coming in on a day late and coming in post-trip goodness. And I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to see you guys next week and good stuff like that there. But I did want to do something. So, good stuff like that there. Hang on a second. What am I doing? Need to find the proper phase in, phase out. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Let's do that. All right, so I'm going to bring up this one, folks. Eat good, keep it serving as always. You know it, you love it. Appreciate your kind attention. You guys hanging out with me tonight. And you've got many other places to go on a belated episode of Dude After Dark. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Sound guy running amok. Sorry there, Fred Hart. He is how he is, and I can't stop him. He's like a dog in traffic. I'm going to bring up this one, folks. Eat good, keep it serving as always. You know it, you love it. And I'll catch you guys next week, and I will see you then. Catch you guys later, and see ya. Where's the button on this thing?